Hello, hello, and welcome to to Sunless Sea. A game that I absolutely adore. I've played so much Sunless Sea in the past, in my free time before I streamed, and barely got anything done in it ever, I might add. This is a big game that's very hard, as the opening text there might have told you. I have the Submariner update, so yeah, we got all the content, which, actually, I say we got all the new content. Oh, wait, I gotta log into my thing. I don't remember my login, so I'll do that another time off camera. Yeah, this game is a wonderfully supported game by Fail Better Games set in their Fallen London universe that is constantly getting new content. But let's just go ahead and hop right on in and start a new game. Sorry, I just moved my mic a little if you heard funny sounds. I love the art and I love the writing. This game is a beautiful cosmic horror set in the sea, in a Victorian London in the underground with an underground ocean, hence the name Sunless Sea. The trailer has a line along the lines of like whatever number of years ago London was pulled to sea or something like that. This first episode is probably going to be a little bit longer. In general, the series might have some funny video lengths. I'm not entirely sure how I'm going to handle it going. We'll figure it out. So, this game is a game that comes in two parts. Part one is a text-based adventure game in the form of your captain's ledger, which is what we're looking at right here. And the rest of it is a seafaring game in the form of everything happening up here. And these two games don't ever happen at the same time, but are always affecting each other in fun ways. So yeah, let's just get into it, and things will make sense and make less sense, and then make more sense, and then make less sense again as we go. So let's just hop into it, huh? Captain's Making. 3 decades ago, in the reign of Victoria, London was stolen by bats. Now, it lies a mile below the surface. It was dreadfully inconvenient for everyone. But it opened a vast black ocean to you. Welcome to the Undersea. So I can choose to have a past, wraith, and shadows, in which I just don't build my character yet, and I build it later on, which is very fun. But we're gonna go ahead and decide who we were and what we want to be. You can always bookmark your character creation and do it later on, which is fun. Alright, so we must choose a past. Yeah. You now lodge in a room above the blind helmsman. Where do you hang your hat in London? So the game gives you cards. There's an invisible deck of cards, dozens of them, all over the game space that you're constantly shuffling new cards in and out of. And every time you go out to sea, every time you dock, all the time, these docks are shuffling, changing, and you're drawing new cards. It's very, very fun, and you get cards that you keep with you permanently to mark things. Who were you? Now you're a captain. Now you belong to the Undersea. But who were you before? So there could be an ordained priest, a natural philosopher, a veteran of the campaign of 68. So we're somewhere in the 60s or 70s, probably in the 70s it seems. Interesting. We could be a poet, or we could have been a street urchin. And all of these will affect what skills we have. So let's actually take a moment to tuck our ledger away and look at our skills. So we have, these are the skills, and whenever we do a skill dice roll, we check against one of these, I say 5, actually 6 traits up here. The first is our iron. Destroy. Increase the damage your attacks do. When at sea, it makes our cannon stronger, and when at land, it is used in feats of strength and combat. Mirrors. Direction and perception. The higher your mirrors, the quicker you can find a firing solution in combat. So the seek part of the game is in real time, and as we go, a timer goes down as we load our cannon. Higher mirrors lets us reload faster and shoot faster, and when at land is our perception skill. Veils. Speed, stealth, deception. Increase the range at which enemies will spot you. So we sort of have an invisible bubble around us that we can do different things to affect it, and that bubble is when an enemy enters that bubble. Or it's more so that all enemies have a bubble, and we can make their bubbles bigger and smaller, and when we enter their bubble, they will see us and start attacking. Veils is one of the ways we can shrink their bubbles. Pages. Esoteric and occasionally practical knowledge. Increases the speed at which we convert fragments to secrets, which is how you level up in this game. And it is also the skill that pertains to all knowledge checks. Hearts. Inspire, heal, defend. Sometimes helps with tests around terror. Terror is a mechanic in the game. This makes terror go down slower, and it also is our charisma when in the wider world, and I believe it's also our endurance. No. Irons is our endurance. And then our last stat is our crew, how many sailors we have aboard. In general, this affects everything and how on the boat, but very little at land. Certain things in land will call on our crew members, and that's when we literally just need more people to help us do a thing. Outside of that, it just makes our ship do everything a little bit better. And all of these will affect all of that. So, we have a few paths, but since it's our first time in the sea, I feel like being a street urchin makes the most sense. We have no real past or history. Your urchin gang cast you out when you grew too tall. You took to the sea rather than graduate to larger crimes. The last big score was enough to buy a ship. This will give you a bonus to Veils, the skill of subtlety and evasion. And it gives us another officer, our gunnery officer, who we'll look at more in a bit. Generally the top here is just a repeat of what we just clicked. I'm wondering if I should probably make this text bigger in a moment. Hang on, can I pause the game now? Yes, let me, wouldn't be an all extreme without. Video settings. Let's, up the UI and up the font. Oh, that's way too big of a UI. Yeah, a slightly bigger UI for your guys' sakes, and hang on, let's shrink that font just down to like 1.5. Yeah, okay. And let's, hang on, not adequate. I have a fucking beefy PC. We're going for sublime graphics. I don't know if this will trigger until our next recording. Alright. Anyway, where were we? Low cunning on the high seas. Your friend, another Longshanks, knows a little of gunnery. Only a little, but she can help. Talk to her to find out why she went to Z. So yeah, we got, no one was born a Z captain. You are a street urchin. Now you're a Z captain. Your stranger quality is gone. Welcome to the world. A past yet to be revealed. You've gained 10 echoes. Echoes are the echoes are the currency of the bazaar, and thus the currency of London. Our total is 60. Or we now have a total of 60, which is also conveniently tracked up here. You know, it's the money. It's the currency of fallen London. You now have one Longshanks gunner. A Longshanks is a recent graduate from the urchin gangs, but where did she learn to fire a cannon? And then you have gained 25 Veils, new total 50. And then someone is looking for passage. Someone in London requires your service. So this is telling us a random quest is generated in London from the pool of random quests we have. So let's continue. We're learning more of our past. What is our ambition? What does winning mean to you? So this is how we win the game. You pick your victory condition. There's several different ways to win, meeting several different main quests to the game. And this little thing here, Got a lot. Yeah, I'm lost in a really big cave. A really, really big cave. This here is telling me that it's part of the Untersee DLC. We're going to ignore the mortality quest in Untersee as a whole for a long time. I've actually never played the Untersee DLC. So we can look for our father's bones, fulfillment, wealth, and a private kingdom. I've played this game before, but I've barely scratched the surface, is the way I put it. I've visited a number of islands, I've learned some tactics that can keep me alive, and I think all in all that's going to help the YouTube series be much more interesting than if this was my first playthrough, in which case I'd be dying a lot. I welcome advice, I don't welcome spoilers. Yeah. Private kingdom. So that one you need impossible one. This choice is not yet available. It will be someday. You can't choose this now, but may find an opportunity to switch it later in the game. My brother played a lot of this game, and I believe he was working on the private kingdom last time he played. Let's start. We're street urchins. We have no real past. Let's start our journey looking for our father's bones. Your father was lost at Z. You never knew him, but you've often dreamed of him. Find and return his remains to London for a decent burial. With the game is cryptic, Sunless Sea, basic advice is the spoil. Yeah. The kind of basic, or general advice I welcome is like, based off of locations I've already visited, give me trade advice. Oh, hey, if you buy this here and sell it back at London, you'll make more money. Oh, here's a fun trick. If you shoot this enemy from behind, you deal more damage. That's the kind of advice I welcome. The air storyline is homophobic as fuck. Is it? Huh. Because you can adopt children in this game. You don't need to have a child, like, naturally. But I've never pursued that storyline, so maybe there is homophobic stuff in it. Anyway, Full Fathom 5. Find where he fell and bring him home. When you found your father's bones, you can retire to victory. Explore fallen London to find your first clue. An occurrence. Your objective, ambition quality is now find your father's bones, then retire. How do you want this all to end? This determines how you win, although you can always just retire in London for a draw. So yeah, there's 3 states. A character can lose, which is dying, draw, which is retiring without finishing your quest, and win, retiring with finishing your quest. And you can keep playing even after, the adoption part is one of the homophobic bits, is it? How? What? I don't know, we'll tackle the romance stuff in the future, but I've always found the romance stuff to be very well handled in this game. In general, I feel like this series has always been very LGBT friendly. Like everything from Fail Better. And this is one example of it. A last scrap of paperwork. Captain! An irregularity in the harborman's office. They wish to know. What term of address do you prefer ashore? This will determine what people call your captain, but your captain's gender is up to you. So this is how you choose how you're addressed. And like what terminology people call you. So you could have a penis, but be called my lady. And that's a very fun quality, the way the game handles that. There's a lot of ways I felt this game has always done a very good job of handling sex and gender and orientation whenever I've played it. So we can go by madam, my lord, my lady, captain, citizen, or sir. No madam. Huh, I just realized that. So let's go ahead. We're still early on. Let's keep our, street urchins a little bit vague. He's a proud captain. Captain will do perfect. Alright. No, let's go with citizen. He's still unsure of himself. Or they're still unsure of themselves. He, she, they. Citizen. A term of address popular among those of the egalitarian sentiments. So let's just go with citizen for now. Citizen. Perhaps you're some sort of rabble-rousing enthusiast, eh? A last piece of advice. Explore, take chances. This captain will probably die. The Z is hungry, but each captain passes on a lesson to the next. Now that's a valuable thing. This game is sort of a roguelike game, but not the kind of roguelike where it's run and die, run and die, run and die. It's sit here and play one character for months, and then they die, and you cry, and you use what you've learned. And things will actively change. You can make choices with one captain that are permanent across all captains. It's very fun. So yeah, the who are you trait is gone. We are now a citizen. How do they speak to you? And now we get to pick from a list of character portraits of what we want to look like. I like the character wrapped in robes. And we get to pick our character's name. Let's go for now with Olive. Is it short for Oliver? Olivia? Who knows? Olive likes to keep to themselves. Get carryover mechanics sort of. I don't think you're right with your statement, because I'm pretty sure it's possible to have an heir in a gay relationship in this game. We'll tackle that further into the game, because I recall having done that in the past. Your father's bones, a cold trial. Your father lost at Z so very long ago. The trail was cold, but now you have a lead. Meet with Slivia, the urchin who speaks to the wind. The urchins of London lair in the flint, a creaking roof maze high above the streets. A bad altitude, as everyone knows. Slivy hears things. Slivy knows things. A week ago, he mentioned that your father was a strong swimmer, as swimmer as you. So unlock when memoirs your past is a secret urchin. You have this. Oh yeah, so I mentioned there's all those different quests. Not only is there a bunch of different end goals, every end goal is written differently depending on your backstory. So every permutation of backstory and major quest has a different quest line associated with it, which is another super fucking cool part of this game. They didn't allow for all the queer flexibility of reference in the game, so it's still. I don't know. Like I said, I've never seen an issue with the whole plot line of the heir. A troubled tongue. Slivy's face is disfigured by a wine-stained birthmark, and he struggles with a stutter. Marks of lightning's kiss on one night when he got too bold in a storm, they say. Yes, I've been waiting for you. I just wants me a little butter salt. Something to calm my tongue. Bring it, and I'll tell you who has your father. Go north along the coast to Wither, and bring back mutter salt for Slivy. So our first quest, go to Wither and buy mutter salt somewhere along the coast to the north. Bring mutter salt from north to Slivy in London. You can buy mutter salt at Wither if you have a Z story. So that's an interesting note there. They don't buy it for echoes, they buy it for Z stories. Some people don't use money, some people only barter in information or valuables. A Z story means we need to hear an interesting tale and share it with them. A tale of the Z specifically. The Z is the sea. It's the accents that people have for the underwater ocean. So we have our captain's book. This is all just tutorial stuff, so I'm just gonna go ahead and sell it. Wait, On new stories? We'll add new stories to the game from time to time. You can download them from the main menu. Oh, okay. So yeah, let's go ahead and sell the book. We've gained 50 more echoes, bringing us to 110, and we no longer have advice for captains. So before we look around London, let's continue going through some of our stuff. Our hold is our inventory. The Invictus token. I am the master of my fate. I am the captain of my soul. You are in an unforgiving mood, with no save slots beside the basic autosave. You will lose this token if you switch from unforgiving to merciful mode. Currently, the game only saves when you dock, and if you die, your character is dead and it saves. You can create saves on your own, but you lose this marker. That is literally the only purpose this has. It's the I have a big dick and I'm playing on Iron Man mode. We got 5 supplies, 5 fuel, plenty of other things. Let's look in our journal. I do not need a tutorial. I've played this game a bunch. So now our journal. So if the hold is the physical items we have, the journal is what we hold in our mind. Olive's accomplishments. Mariner. You know something of the Untersee. So we have memories. Quality lodgings. A room above the blind helmsman. Where do you hang your hat in London? And your past, street urchin. No one was born a Z captain. We have an objective. To find our father's bones and retire. Our father's bones, so this is information on that path. A cold trail. Bring mutter salts from north to Civvy in London. And then miscellaneous information. So right now, we know we have a request for passage. Someone is looking for passage. 3 someones in London. It is almost safe. This is, I believe, I don't actually remember what this is off the top of my head, but we know we're almost safe. And the Untersee, we have access to the Submariner DLC expansion. That's just to let us know it's installed. Let's take a look at our officers now a little bit. Like I said, this game series is probably going to have much longer videos than others. Gunnery officer. Longshanks. Longshanks gunner. A Longshanks is a recent graduate from the... Yep, we've read that. She gives us +1 irons. And then the Comatose Ferret, our mascot. Mostly, it's immobile. Occasionally, it's ferile. So, we can go ahead and right-click our people. We can speak to them. RNG factors into unfortunate implications the story can make. For example, you can go on a first date with the likely lass, come back to port a few weeks later, go on a second date with her, and then instantly after that, interaction. Yeah, I know how that works. Okay. So yeah, let's talk with our gunner. Alright, Captain. What do you want me to do? Or what do you want me to shoot now? The Longshanks gunner is not the most distinguished of officers, but she'll do until you find someone better. So, we can share our secrets with her to gain her secrets, which will increase our irons. We can ask what she wants in life, and we can also have a proposition with her if we have romance and high enough iron. So she'll only date somebody who's really tough. Any one of your officers you can romance. But we're not going to worry about that. What do you want in life? Khan's Shadow. It's like a... Yeah, why do you come to see? Khan's Shadow. It's like a flint at Z, right? No one to tell you what to say or do. And no one to kick you downstairs. Just 'cause you're a little bit tall. I'll be a faithful officer. But put me ashore in the shadow, and I won't forget you. Khan's Shadow is to the east of Khanite proper, in eastern central Untersee. So, that's getting at how the ocean generates, because the ocean actually randomly generates. So let's continue. It's kept vague so that you can roleplay. I'll talk more about this plot line when it plays out in my playthrough. I'm not gonna talk about the intricacies of it without it in front of me. Yeah, that. We'll talk about those storylines later. Let's not worry about plot lines we're not even touching yet. We'll talk about those plot lines later on in our playthrough. I'm not too worried about that, right? The romance plot lines yet. So yeah, she has a quest for us to take her to Khan Shadow. Does that get logged into our journal? It does not. We'll have to talk to her again. Every officer will have a quest line that has multiple endings. Now let's talk to our mascot. It lies across your desk like a lumpy scarf. We can choose to play with it, but that will burn up our something awaits us that we have in storage. Which I don't want to burn away. Right now. So I'm just thinking. So I think, yeah, now we're ready to look at the stories of Fallen London. Fallen London, deep, dark, and marvelous. All voyages start here, and this is where a successful voyage ends. So the tutorial for Submariner, blah blah blah. We're gonna ignore this because we're not even gonna touch this quest line with our character. Father's Bones next step, a passenger, our lodgings in London. Let's spend a little time in our home first. Your lodgings. Here you may catch up on your correspondence, rest, or retire altogether from seafaring life. The better your lodgings, the better the quality of your retirement, naturally. Let's read the morning paper. The Unexpected Gazette. The magazine formerly known as the London Magazine. The Spiteful Trumpeter News. Yes, I record this for YouTube and Twitch. I stream on Twitch, and I record it while I do, and I throw it up on my YouTube channel, which is the same name as my Twitch. Unlocked with no... So, if we don't have recent news, we can read the newspaper to get it. News from abroad. The Khanate is threatening war. They always are. The London colonies on the Carlanian coast await independence, or want independence. They always do. The Untersee... The paper's report has undergone another alteration. Not yet, it hasn't. You'd know. And oh, a promotional coupon for Miss Plenty's provisions for half a case of salted herring. You could use that. Hey, we got Eastern supplies and some salted herring. Sound like I'm talking to people who aren't here. Yeah, I always talk like that. You do. I actually never have the number of viewers I have on Twitch visible, because I don't like to know how many people there are or aren't there. More like a live recording session than you... Exactly, but I do like interacting with the people on stream and taking their advice and, you know, getting nudges and ideas. But I don't like to be backseat gamed, you know? I do like to talk about things, but like I said, I'd love to talk more about the romance subplot when we're actually tackling it. Like, I don't want to talk, especially because I don't know a lot of the storylines in this game, so I don't want to accidentally have storylines spoiled for me. So I'd rather, like, I'll gladly talk about things as they're happening on, like, in front of me and all of that, you know? We don't have a study, we can't do anything else in our home because we don't have anything else in our home, so let's go back to our city. Or go back to the city. Ooh, hang on. Let's click this. So that we can visit London proper, or let's check out the passengers available. I'm thinking generally... so I was just saying I don't know how I'm going to format the series. I think I just realized how I'm going to do it. Every episode is going to start with me at a dock and doing a bunch of plotline there. And then I'll set off to sail, and I'll end the episode at the next place I dock if I've been recording for at least 20 minutes. If it's been less than 20 minutes, we'll read the story there and then set off to sail again. So every episode will be minimum 20 minutes, often probably longer. A passenger. Someone in the docks wants to board your ship. An anxious university student wants to go to Hunter's Keep. He has no money, so the other captains have no interest. But he's a passionate youth and promises that his studies on lore and flukes will be rewarding enough. I was trying to warn you because the first time I encountered the hair story, I had been having a great time with the new game. I never had a problem with that plot line, because I feel, like I said, I'll talk about it more when I get there. But I've never had issues with it myself, but I don't know. I guess, personal tastes and opinions and views on things. So yeah, let's pick up the anxious university student, though. Welcome abroad. He jumps for joy as you agree to take him aboard. Thank you, please, take me to Hunter's Keep right away. A lorn fluke, a full, dead lorn fluke washed ashore. I'm doing my thesis on them. Do you know they can digest human memory? And I may never have a better chance to study one up close. So, bound for Hunter's Keep. It is rare for something so awful to wash up on shore. A lorn fluke. I wonder what that is. Alright, so we've picked up a passenger. Always a good thing to do while you're in London. And speaking of London, what else is going on here? Ooh, we can adopt a Blumigan Gallivantier. Visit the Admiralty Admiralty Survey Office. Visit the Unterversity. We actually can't do that. We're not allowed in. They only let in people who know secrets or have amazing artifacts. We could cruise the Wolfstack docks. We actually can't because we don't have a free evening currently. We could hire more crew for money. I'm happy with our crew for now. Yeah, I fucking love Sunless Sea. Oh, Dawson! Yo, it's good to see you again, my man. It's been so long since I saw you pop up. I hope you're doing good, bud. But yeah, we can hire more crew if we want. We can put our ship in dry dock for repair purposes. We don't need to, though, because our hull is perfectly preserved. We can offer passage to a tomb colonist. Let's go ahead and do that right now. And also new recruits we could do if we had, a new day. Offer passage to a tomb colonist. An emergent will pay to be taken north to Vanderbright. So hang on. Maybe some of you in chat can explain this to me. I've never been able to figure out what exactly a tomb colonist is. So, here's what I think it is, from what I've learned. I think in Fallen London, people can't die of old age. So when you get too old, you're sent away to the Tomb Colony, which is a colony for old people, I think. Have I played Fallen London? A little bit. I've played it on and off. It's a thing I've always thought about playing more of, but I've failed to get invested in it because it's a lot of looping plot lines trying to advance slowly over time. Because the game, it's one of those games that wants you to play daily, and I love it, but I, never... Yeah, I've learned, the surface level of Fallen London lore. Feel free to tell me anything in Fallen London lore, if it pertains to what's being discussed. Because I don't know the lore of Fallen London, and I don't think I'm gonna play enough Fallen London to learn the lore heavily, sadly. So I'm a Z captain. I'm not a Londoner. So I welcome stories of the mainland whenever you can offer them. But yeah, let's offer passage to a tomb colonist to Vanderbright. It's oddly difficult to die in Fallen London, but when a Londoner is too tatty or breathed to live, they wrap themselves in bandages and take a ship for the tomb colonies. Your crew chart these ones aboard in padded coffins. They'll sleep here until the journey is over. Okay, so this is a lot, but in Fallen London, humans cannot die. Okay, my theory was correct. I never got that hard confirmed anywhere. This is a basic mechanic of the game. You can get stabbed by a mugger, or whatever, and you just get better. Okay, that makes sense, because we're halfway to hell. So, the magic of hell stops people from dying, I imagine. I've only played Sunless Sea, but from what I understand, the tomb colonists are, like you said, very, very old people who are, basically mummified, and sent to Vanderbright to chill forever, slowly rotting. Very macabre. Okay. The thing is that while you cannot die, all the repeated getting beaten and stabbed and set on fire and crushed or whatever tends to eventually wear your body out. And so you get sent to Vanderbright when you become too unsightly. That makes sense. The tomb colonist is in your hold. Take them north to the colony of Vanderbright and sell them there. We now have one tomb colonist. Take the colonist to Vanderbright. So you can see you very quickly mount a lot of quests in this game, which is part of what I love. There's always more cool things to do. I personally like to prioritize passengers when I have them on board and getting their stuff done over other things, just because I feel like it feels mean keeping them on my boat for days and days and days doing nothing of relevance. Let's visit the Admiralty's survey office. They'll pay for information from Z captains. Find out what and how. Really makes me very scared of all my captains who died at sea. Yeah, I believe that's actually a piece of lore. I believe there's a term for people stuck in the bottom of the ocean. I think, I've never seen it, but I've heard inklings and rumors that there's a kingdom under the sea of drowned people. See, I like that I still only know surface level lore, because it makes me feel like... Because this game is so wrapped in esotericness and mystery, I feel like I've never learned anything, and I feel like nothing I say is a spoiler, but everything I say is a spoiler. When your body is so fragile from unliving that just moving around is pain, which does tend to take a long time, so age is a factor, people give up on going through the motions of living and bandage up their bodies and move north to the tombs, where they literally just lay in coffins and try to sleep away the years. That makes sense. Ugh. Very cool. I love this game's world and its lore. It's so deep and interesting. I would die. So I'm gonna mention this right now. I've been developing my own tabletop system for the better part of a decade right now. I would die to have the opportunity to work with Failbetter on making a Fallen London tabletop game. Like, I would just be in tears if I got that opportunity one day. Can't really call it surface level storytelling though. The whole game is below. Yeah. Oh, that's good. You get brownie points. I like that, Dawson. That's funny. They'll pay you for information from Z. They'll pay for information from Z captains. Yeah. So we're talking to the Admiralty. The Admiralty Survey Office. The Admiralty's picket fleet of intelligence networks are long gone. The Survey Office pays Z captains a small sum for recent information. So there are mummies walking around in the streets of the tomb colonies, but it's more like people getting up for 3 a.m. snack after their long repose. That makes sense. I like that. Visit and investigate ports to gain port reports and trade them in here. The first time you trade in a port report, you'll gain the Admiralty's favor. Ask if there's anything in particular they need. Well, if we can be assured of your discretion... This port. Speak to our agents there and return. We'll see that you're rewarded. Visit the port below and return to London. You can check details in the journal anytime. So they want me to go to... retrieve strategic information from Gator's Mourn in the Corsair Forest, somewhere not far from home waters. So, okay, I'll go over what those terminologies mean in a moment when we can... Oh, actually, hang on. Can I open my map right now? I can't, not until I'm out at sea. But like I said, terms like somewhere not far from home waters pertain to how the game randomly generates the ocean every run. The vast majority of the time, the vast majority of the tomb colonies, inhabitants are lying down. Okay, that makes sense. Alright, let's continue. Ask to speak with higher authority, no interest. Alright, so let's leave. Done. Out into the foggy streets, you turn your collar up. Let's adopt a Blemigan Gallivantier. A Blemigan sits atop a splintered crate, clicking and whistling at captains as they come near. Woo! Woo! I can't whistle. I don't know about how your run will go, but usually I have trouble finding Gator's Mourn. Somewhere near home waters can be generous. Yes, it can. Blemigan. This is something I know enough about Fallen London. I know in Fallen London that Blemigans are considered a pest that needs extermination, and hunters are regularly hired to kill them, I believe. They're like these sentient mushrooms, I believe. A polite bow. You extend your hand, and the Blemigan leaps on. Its tendrils entwine with your fingers, and it chitters quietly. It meets your gaze and bobs its dome in greeting. It's very small. Is it old enough for naval service? You're pretty sure its mustache has been drawn on in pen in an attempt to look older. As you approach your ship's gangplank, the creature flutes and vibrates with an apparent happiness. The bosun winces as you bring it aboard. A bosun is like a guy who works at docks, right? Like reviewing things. Alright, and I think that's all of our work here in London done. So let's look at our journal. Or not our journal, our officers, and you can see we have an alternative mascot, one that raises mirrors and pages rather than hearts. So I think when we go out at sea, we'll keep the Blumigan on hand and let the ferret rest, but when we dock, we'll pull out the comatose ferret again. Depending on the dock, that is. The Blumigan Gallivantier. I'm gonna sneeze. Excuse me. Gives us 3 mirrors and 2 pages. What a keen little mushroom. So let's speak to him. Oh, his profile picture doesn't get bigger here. You can kind of see he's drawn on mushroom there, I think. It has made its home on a shelf in your cabin. It has built a nest from loose journal pages, the engineer's scarf, and possibly a pilfered map. So we can choose to entertain him. A bosun is boat slang for boatswain. It's a ship petty officer, like a work party leader. Oh, okay. Yeah, I appreciate that little bit of info, because that's something I never knew. Alright, I think we're finally ready. Hang on, let's look at the shops real fast. So there's all these different stores that sell different things. I don't think I want to buy anything else. Sorry, I'm sniffing a little because that sneeze knocked some mucus loose. And we can always buy better boats, or if we really want to, buy a worse boat. Yeah, right now we have the Azure Leech class steamer. This trap steamer has served well, but for a long, long, long time. And yeah, it's got all these fancy stats. So, we're ready to set out to sea, but first, let me take a look at some of the UI here for all you guys. Our logbook down here gives us info updates. Up here we have our ship's hull and our speed. As we take damage, the hull will decrease, and if it empties, we die. This is our engine, heat, and fuel. Our heat, as we go faster or slower, the heat in our boat rises and lowers, and also the temperature of the surrounding ocean can affect that. The temperature of our engine affects how fast we burn fuel. When we run out of fuel, we have to load in a new barrel. Then we have our food supply, or our hunger. As time passes, hunger will slowly... Oh, fuck! Time's not paused. Our hunger will slowly tick up, as you just saw. When it hits this line, we will eat one of our supply crates. If we don't have supply crates, it will actually keep ticking up until we start starving. It's not totally unlike a sergeant in the army, except sergeants are much more concerned with leading and fighting, while boatswain is still on a civilian vessel. Hang on, that disappeared. Civilian vessel, and is mostly about managing the daily labor of the ship. If my voice changes when a message disappears while I'm reading it, it's because I'm leaning over to look at the other screen where the message is still visible. You never want to run out of either of these things, because it's never good. And then there is terror. As we spend time in the dark and around monsters, our terror will fill up. When the bar hits full, a dot goes here. Higher terror means different bad random events can happen. And then down here we have reports on the dock we're in. We can always open our boat at any time, but then the other thing is the map. So, we don't know any of the map currently. Yeah, running out of fuel can be really bad, running out of supplies is much worse, exactly. Because you can actually burn your supplies as fuel. Keeping the lamp off to save fuel. Yes, I do. I found a lot of players can play a long time without grasping that mechanic. That's a very good one to know. Thank you for mentioning it, because I actually think I had forgotten it. So, like, the ocean is sort of chopped into quadrants that generate differently. And some of the quadrants will overlap each other and generate different islands on them. The left side of the map and the bottom of the map are always consistent because they're the coastline. Other than that, you might hear something like, Oh, in the northern area, which means anywhere on, like, above, like, this line. Or far waters means anything past the halfway mark. And close to home waters means within roughly this bubble that I'm drawing here. Somewhere around that area. But that can be a lot. So, let's set off into sail in the Untersee now. Oh, hang on. Let us launch. Let's turn off our lights, because we're in light water, so we're safe. We can repair our ship if we want. We can go into full power in order to get a speed boost. But we're just going to go normal. And then we have our pet Z-Bat, who we can set off. And when he returns, right there, there is something underwater some distance to the north. And if we open our map... Oh, I thought it put a marker. Maybe it only puts a marker when you get close. Yeah, the Z-Bat tells you of nearby docks you've yet to discover. So let's go ahead out. And now I'm going to be mostly using my keyboard, so we're going to tuck the mouse aside. Oh yeah, I can blow our engines up, that's right. Thank you for reminding me of that one. Yes, now we're in Fallen London. Oh shit. I bumped the buoy a little bit. Didn't damage my hull, luckily. And there's Hunter's Keep right there. We're gonna sail up this way. And we're gonna dock in Hunter's Keep to wrap up the episode. Yeah, I realize we didn't spend a lot of time at sea, but it's always good to visit Hunter's Keep. And the first episode had a lot of introduction stuff going on. Oh, okay, that's why I don't have an underwater marker, because I don't have a submarine. So yeah, those of you on Twitch, we're nowhere near done, we're gonna keep going. But those of you on YouTube, that's gonna be the last episode, or, I mean, the end of the first, or you know what? It's the first episode of a new series. Let's go for an hour. Let's keep going a little bit. Reading the game to tell how much fear the local area... Reading the game to tell how much fear the local area is generating is kind of tricky. It's not explicit but implicit, and has to be inferred from things like rate of fear gain. But the best as I can tell, the actual appearance of water itself is a big indicator. Like, water that generates more fear will actually be darker in color. Yeah, and also light means it protects you from fear and the presence of monsters. Yeah, a new series I usually try to start with a 1-hour episode, or sometimes a little less if I hit a really good wrapping point before then. But we're gonna keep going with this one, you know, visit a few more stops. Hunter's Keep, a quiet isle. A grand old house. Oh, also real quick, you'll notice that light appeared. That means that London has generated new events for us if we return there. And it means all docks we visited previously will have new events. That's what that means. There's something underwater some distance to the north. I'm just looking at our logbook down here. On November 30th in 1887. Okay, there it is. We're in the 80s. We discovered Hunter's Keep, gaining 50 fragments. So as we discover things, we gain fragments of pages, which can be stacked up to gain a secret. And a secret is what we spend to level up through our captains. So you can only level up a stat if you have a captain that will level that stat up. There is actually other means, but that's the most common way. Also on November 30th, we discovered Lowe's Baronet. And on the 1st of December... that's just the day change thing. On the horizon, a sickly yellow light glimmers for a moment, then fades. So yeah, a quiet isle, a grand old house, Hunter's Keep. A hump of dark swathed in mist, like 100 other Untersea islands. It extends. But here's a grand house, windows aglow, lawns impossibly green and lush with false stars of light, raked in gravel paths. You stand on the docks. As the sea nudges the ship's sides, an unexpectedly warm breeze carries the faintest trace of lavender. We can expect the Lorne Flute with the anxious university students. Yeah, this is where he wanted to go. It lies on the shore, just beyond the hill. You can make out the fluke's spikes over the grass. Okay, so flukes are spiky. Let's go. The anxious student rushes by you, whooping. But he stops at the hilltop. On the shore, standing before the mass of dead needles, is a drownie. Drownies. I think that's the people who have drowned. In a nuclean postal uniform. Is that so? He's a mailman. He glowers up at you. This is not where the fluke belongs. The drownie carries a plummy voice. What does plummy mean? I'll just keep using the voice I had. It's to be taken elsewhere. It already has a delivery label. That means I have to deliver it. The student sneers. It's on your label. Citizen, help me haul this beast to Station 3. My advisor at the college has arranged a room where for its dissection and study. My work would benefit us all. Who will the corpse go to? It's rare something so awful washes up on shore. Oh, is that the fluke's eye? There's only one fluke. They can't both have it. Do we transport it to Station 3? This is a once in a lifetime. This is a once in a lifetime opportunity. The student says, or transport the lone fluke to Nunicio. It's labeled, or it is labeled already. After all, what does chat think? I'm gonna sip my water. I want to get your guys' input. Where should we? Should we honor our agreements to the student, or should we listen to the mailman? I'll give a moment more, because I know there's at least Dawson in chat, too. Just taking some sips of water. Station 3 is kind of a creep show. Me, personally, I would never fuck with the mailman. Okay, you don't fuck with the mailman. Not that the whole game is a creep show, yeah. I do what he says, he's dangerous. Alright, yeah. Let's help the mailman. Sorry, young student. Loaded with extreme caution, the Lorne Fluke is tied, but very reluctant sailors to drag behind your stern. On your deck, the drowny postman smiles relieved. I was worried you wouldn't understand. Take me to Nuncio. Nuncio, that sounds right. At your liege. He glances over the railing. The anxious student stands on shore, shouting and swearing at you. Tears fall fast from his eyes. The drownie shrugs and heads below deck. Alright. Sorry, Mr. Student. I feel a little bad, not gonna lie. Alright, he told me to do it at our leash, so we'll just keep it on board for a while. There's still more to do here, though. We can present ourselves to the house, walk the gardens, reconnoiter the island, or spy on the house, which will be a straightforward challenge, guaranteed to pass. I'm an urchin. Let's spy. This place may not be as simple as it seems. Piano music drifts across the terrace. You peer through a half-open French window into a grand parlor, grand in size, if a little reduced in style by dust and neglect. A dark-haired, pale-skinned young woman bends earnestly over a piano keyboard. Another, fair-haired but unmistakably her sister, sprawled on the sofa with a book. A third sits by the fireplace, stowing sorrowfully into the embers. Soon, she says, and the piano music falters and stops. We'll go hungry, and then the end will come. For me, but not for you. The pianist raises her eyebrow from the keyboard. Hush! If we don't speak of it. She frowns. Has she seen you at the window? Has she seen you at the window? You withdraw. We now know something of Hunter's Keep. You've been known to visit the three sisters of Hunter's Keep. We succeeded and we gained fragments for it. Let's, present ourselves now that we've been seen, maybe. They will have heard your ship come in. Why hide? Knock and enter. I don't know if the sound effect picked up, but I knocked. A maid with smoldering topaz eyes shows you into the parlor where the three young women wait. A visitor! The youngest cries. The next youngest chuckles. The eldest sighs. Do excuse the indecorum, she says. Visitors are rare. You are very welcome. I am Cynthia. This noisy one is Phoebe. The cheerful one is Lucy. You are in a good time for lunch. Will you join us? You saying this after I joined the stream, but what made you choose a mirrors build? Oh, I'm not going for a specific build. I'm really just going with the flow. I just picked a character that felt fun. I'm not going for a particular build right now. The icons are so tiny. Okay, hang on. Let me, I'll up the scale a little bit. Oh, no, not, no, I want. Keep the font size. Up the scale. Does that look a little better? Things a little more visible? It's a touch better. Okay. You are acquainted with the Sisters of Hunter's Keep. A false star flares in the cavern roof directly above you. Flares and fades. You'll find a story when you next make port. So this is, you'll receive this from time to time as you travel the Z. I think this is telling me new stories have been shuffled into decks around. Ye Vales. I just picked I picked the Urchint. Because, you know, it felt fun for the first character of the playthrough. Alright, so, a hump of dark rock swathed in mist. Oh wait, that's just a description of Hunter's Keep again. So we can have luncheon with them if we'd like. And we could deliver some news if we had, oh, we do have news. Oh no, it's because we haven't had luncheon with them. That's what it is. Alright, so, luncheon with the sisters. So we can have luncheon with Cynthia. Cynthia is the eldest, melancholic, pensive, and occasionally dramatic. We can have it with Lucy. Lucy, the middle sister, is sunny, restless, and prone to giggles. Or, with Phoebe. Phoebe is soft-voiced, watchful, and unpredictable. It's a funny orphan that cares more about their non-existent parents than, say, piles of gold. Exactly. I learned, you know, I'm an orphan, I learned of my dad's past, and I was like, I need to know, I need to find him. What happened to my father? It's been a mystery all their life. Alright, you know, we're young, let's have lunch with the youngest. Phoebe. Here's a story. Phoebe has a story to tell, of two lovers, parted by waters, of a raven that carried messages, of a fragment of the moon. She beats time on the table as she speaks, as if to a song only she can hear. The effect is hypnotic. Your attention drifts out through the skylight of the dining room to the false stars, glittering in the roof of the caverns. You drift like a puffball spore. The undersea shimmers below. Islands lie like mineral specimens on the black velvet. Chips bob like wood chips between the islands. Vast spinning things pulse in the depths. There's a scent like a scent before a storm. The storm came, Phoebe says quietly. Everything changed. Somewhere in there, you finished the last course. The scowling maid reluctantly serves cheese and Bath Oliver biscuits. Going to be a moody Avoiding combat then? We'll see where it goes. I'm like I said, I'm gonna go with the vibes. Maybe I'll sneak by things, maybe I'll fight things. That is all for now. Something has changed in the Z. You now have 1 Memories of Distant Shores. Memories of Distant Shores. At the Unterversity and in the Tomb Colonies, they'll pay well for stories of far lands. You are acquainted with the Sisters of Hunter's Keep. You've been known to visit them. Acquaintance, sojourning with the sisters, so our acquaintance has increased. They've given us some leftovers as supplies, which is very nice, and they emptied our hungers. Always good to visit the sisters. Personally, don't like avoiding combat, and I play a veteran backstory usually because I know I'll be shooting things in the face. Yeah, we'll cycle through the different backstories as we die. We've lost terror, so they gave us food, they calmed us down. It's a good day, and we even got some more fragments. And we now have a god of the Z storms attention. And the ancient anger knows you. All right, let's look in our journal about that real fast. Storm's attention. You now have the attention of the god of the Z, or of the gods of the Z. Storm's attention. The ancient anger knows you. Okay. I followed you a long time ago, but haven't really watched a lot of your streams. Not really. I really just play what I enjoy. Like, I stream for YouTube more so, but I play what I enjoy. I pick a game, I play it through all the way. That's the general vibe. Actually, hang on. I'm gonna go ahead and throw this up, because this is going up the same day that the stream update goes. Actually, no, I'm not gonna throw it up. I was gonna throw up my YouTube schedule on the stream, but I will not do that during recording. Not receiving visitors. The parlor is empty. Where are the sisters? The maid makes it clear, through a series of unwelcoming growls, Phoebe, Lucy, and Cynthia are all three are indisposed. No luncheon today, apparently. So, we can trade our news to have more lunch with them, but I'm not worried about that right now. Let's reconnoiter the island. Plunging cliffs, soft green lawns, a well tucked away in the folds of the ground. Anything else? Right away, and I found you on Twitch. I'm mostly aware of you from all your YouTube thumbnails appearing in my sub feed. Yeah, lately I've been playing through basically just Paper Mario and Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom because my gaming PC was broken. But I just got it back literally today as I'm recording this. Which is why I'm recording this now. A lot of my other stuff had to disappear because I wasn't able to record. I also been doing Detroit Become Human with my brother, and our backlog of Outer Wilds is yet to burn out. Fun little thing, we actually just earlier today streamed some more Scorn, so that series is coming back on the same week that this is starting its airing, which is next week for the people on Twitch, this week for the people on YouTube. Yeah, all I've been able to do is my Switch currently, so I haven't been able to do much with much else. But you know, new stuff is going to be gearing up on the channel very soon. A lot more stuff. Yeah, I'm gonna be doing a weekly series of this. I'm gonna be playing a lot more Carrion again. I'm gonna be slowly feeding more stuff into the channel. So I look forward to having you here on this stuff. The sea is silence. The sea is silence. Ships rarely come here. Nothing changes, even the weather. The house is the heart of the isle. The house and the sisters. But the Admiralty may be happy to know nothing's changed, at least. Alright. And I think we're good to move on. So, we've passed an hour, but let's keep going. Let's set to sail, and we'll end the episode whenever we next dock. So, let us launch! Off to the Z, the Untersee. So, we're in dark water, so we're gonna keep the lights on because terror increases faster when you don't have your lights on. Let's, tuck away this so we can see our surroundings. What is that there? That is I can't tell. There's a bat swarm coming at us. Let's keep our guns ready. I think we can just about outrun them, though. I believe that's a pirate ship over there. Let's keep our guns up. There's some lights over there. Oh, shit. Ah, shit. Alright, we got hit a little bit. But we have discovered the Hornman stage. Alright, the bats only hit us once, though. We have discovered the Tana Cook. Chook. Sorry, Tana Chook. Oh no, stop, please, bats. Ugh. Only some light scuffing of the hull at least. Alright, we're all clear. They were driven away by the lights of the shore. A row of wretched Z-bats hangs from a cable. Their heads swivel in unison as you cross the deck. Alright, and here is... Oop. You have gained a secret. Speak to your officers to improve your abilities. We have discovered... On December 2nd of 1887, we have discovered Vanderbright. 50 fragments have been gained. They're too far away now to shoot out. Let us dock. Oh, shout out to Z-Bats. I thought he said shoot the Z-Bats. Alright, well, we've now docked here in, hang on, let's, just tuck this down. Or no, we'll, hang on, like that. We've now docked here in Vanderbright. Having lamps on makes you much more visible, yeah. I wasn't too worried about hiding, though. Yeah. Now that we're in the tomb colonies of Vanderbright, I think it's finally time to call the first episode, but like I said, those of you on Twitch, stick around. We're nowhere near done yet. Those of you on YouTube, I hope you've been enjoying the start of our Sunless Sea playthrough. I'm excited to be playing a lot of this. End cards will be appearing in just a moment, linking to both the playlist of this as well as some other things, so if there's more videos in this series already, be sure to click that to watch more. But yeah, I hope you've all been enjoying. Love you all very, very much, and ta-ta for now.